welcome. You're watching yet another edition of Market Masterclass with me, Sakshi Batra, on Money9, India's first multilingual platform for personal finance from TV9 News Network. And on this show, we help you understand how to look at the current market scenario and how to position your investments in this current scenario. To help us do that, we are joined by experts on the show. And joining in today is Mr. Siddharth Khemka, Head of Retail Research at Motilal Oswal Financial Services. Thank you very much, sir, for taking out time for us and joining us on Money9.
You're most welcome. Thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure that we have you with us on Money9. I wish to begin by understanding from you, Mr. Khemka, that how are you looking at the markets, overall market scenario currently? Do you think, and what do you think is really driving the optimism currently? And is it here to stay? Is the most important question.
So, Sakshi, if you look at the overall market, we have had seen a sharp of outperformance from the equity markets from the first wave and the first round of lockdowns to the end of the financial year, where we were almost touching the markets were touching new highs. However, post that we saw a sudden spike in the second wave of virus and the return of restrictions, lockdown, although in a much softer or a relaxed way compared to the previous one. And that again leads to the hope that, like the first wave, the second wave will peak out sooner than later and things will go back to normal. And people don't want to miss out. So a lot of people who were thinking that last year that the pandemic could last longer and the market could remain low for a long time, they missed out on the entire rally. And those are the
Sure.
people who are now looking at the current market as an opportunity to enter afresh.
Absolutely. So, which sectors would be on your preference list as of now? Because of late, the market seems to be getting back on its defensive tilt. We are seeing that IT and pharma that had risen the maximum during the first wave, the pandemic last year, they're back in the flavor this time around. So, how are you seeing these both spaces? Is this a temporary aberration? Is the trend here to stay? How do you see this?
So it's actually, if you look at the market clearly, market is playing out in the short term as well as in the long term. So in the short term, we are seeing lot of sector rotations having being played out, and the cycle time for the sector rotation is becoming much smaller and smaller. While
Hmm.
for the long term, there are sectors which have definitely gained structurally because of the pandemic, or otherwise, and they are likely to continue to outperform. So if the question on the defensive, we see that after a sharp rally, there was some consolidation, and with the return of the pandemic and the second wave, we saw the pharma sector again started outperforming with
Yeah.
lot more opportunities opening up. If you ask
Hmm.
me, the long-term opportunities in both the sectors are immense. Both have a long runway for growth, and hence any correction in these sectors or even fresh entry in these sectors can be made for a long-term investment.
Okay, so long term, there is going to be further upside. There is going to be enough potential to tap for all the investors. So everybody is looking for any kind of opportunities after the sharp run up. Also, can look for some dips to definitely accumulate these sectors and keep them on your radar. I also wanted to ask you on the pharma sector. Will the PLI's scheme also boost the pharma sector, give it that additional push apart from the COVID-19 second wave and the vaccination place, etc.?
So, Sakshi, pharma, if you look at the Indian companies, there are specifically a space in the export market, and then there is the domestic market. So, the export market in the last few years were impacted because of the low demand, because of the strict regulatory environment, and a lot of price regulation, and you can say lower realization, resulting in lower margins for these companies. And in the
Hmm.
domestic market, again, the growth was not coming forth. So that impacted the overall performance. Now, last 1 year, we have seen all these changing in favor of the pharma sector. One, with the pandemic, a lot of focus is back on the healthcare. A lot of other medicines which are not related to vaccines are also seeing a lot of intake or growth, both in the export market.
Sure. Now, another emerging trend which we are noticing in these last couple of sessions is that when the pharma stocks are going up, the banks are falling, and it is vice versa on some days because of these volatile moves that we are witnessing. And they're complete contra or mirror images to each other when we are saying now one is a play on, say, fear of COVID-19 rising, the other is a play on recovery. So for you, which is a better play right now that you would advise investors to look at, and how?
Sachi, again, the true answer would lie in the investment horizon.
Hmm.
The banking space is kind of a lifeline for the economy. If the economy were to revive, the banking sector will do well, and it is much more cyclical compared to a pharma, which is much more as a defensive play. So days
Sure.
when the fear of the pandemic goes up, the sector does well. But on an overall long-term basis, you would see that the banking sector would continue to do well. So should the pharma sector do. In terms of weightage, the banking in Indian indices have a much higher weightage, and hence in a portfolio construct you will find us recommending more banking, or to that extent a lot of these financials. So the
Sure.
bigger BFSI space will have a larger portion in the overall portfolio, and the weightage on pharma in the last 1 year has only gone up, to
Yeah.
say that one needs to keep an overweight on the pharma sector as well.
Sure, understood that as well. Now, I also wanted your view on the primary market space. Now, we have seen a spate of IPOs hitting the street, not just in 2020, but also in 2021 so far. Now, the Power Grid InvIT IPO will be opening up for public tomorrow. There's also talk of Zomato now filing its DRHP. So, there'll be a whole host of IPOs now coming in. How should investors really strategize their moves in the primary market space? We have seen overwhelming subscriptions in the previous ones, but what would be your advice for both existing and new investors? How should they approach the IPO space?
So the primary market essentially gives us a scope to invest in companies which are not listed or are where in the unlisted space so far. So that brings to the question that whether the business that has come for an IPO is a different or a differentiated company where one would essentially need to invest to participate in the growth of that sector or segment.
Hmm.
Fortunately, last 2 years we have seen a lot of new business segments, a lot of niche companies coming up with the IPO, and that is why there has been a huge demand for these kind of offerings.
Hmm.
Some of the examples for this year, be it the Zomato, which is kind of a startup where this play on the Indian consumption story, or one of the largest IPO expected of LIC. So some of these names will definitely excite the investors community. Finally, one needs to look at the business in terms of growth, profitability, and finally the valuation at which the IPO is offered. Else, if it
Hmm.
is a similar business which is so compared to a lot of peers which are already listed, if you are not getting a bargain, you have a lot of other options to play with in the listed space itself. So the advice would be to take each IPO separately and
Hmm.
evaluate it whether it merits investment, whether it has enough track record, or one can wait for the listing and see the track record and then invest in them.
Right. Now, one thing that I wanted to ask you was like a slight bit of concern, which is which everybody of us is like really focusing on right now, is that the FIIs have actually turned net sellers in the month of April. We've also seen the Indian rupee also weakening and depreciating as opposed to other currencies, especially the dollar. Is that also weighing heavily on the India sentiment when it comes to the FII investments? And how do you really see the impact of this depreciation of Indian rupee on the Indian sectors?
So Sakshi, FI or foreign money generally looks at the overall market view and then changes. So last year, March, April, we saw one of the highest outflows from
Hmm.
the FIs, and within the same financial year, we had October, November, December, a huge, again, a record inflows from the same foreign investors. So after having seen almost more than 100% returns in the index itself, so a lot of stocks would have given you even higher returns. So there is
Hmm.
some kind of profit booking definitely taking place. There is some concern globally also arising because of the rising commodity prices, the second wave and third wave in many European countries,
Yeah.
plus the bond yields, so interest rates going up, indicating that there could be a risk to the liquidity flows that has been uh, uh, from the central banks, from the governments globally with the stimulus packages that could tighten up, and hence the cautious view on the entire emerging markets.
Absolutely. I also wanted to ask you, where do you stand on the entire reopening trade? We have seen in the second wave, as and when the record cases started to hit the different parts of the country, there were stringent restrictions again being announced. So we had seen that some of the sectors that were extremely badly hit in the first wave, including hospitality, tourism, aviation, all of these sectors, are they still on the avoid category for investors? Or do you think that, they will be just around the corner, that they should be just turning around the corner and one can actually look at them, cautiously or in a staggered fashion at these, slightly cheaper valuations?
So some of these spaces, I would at best believe that they are a short-term trading opportunity to play
Okay.
the recovery trade. Some of the
Mm-hmm.
sectors would see a structural change in the way their businesses would be driven going forward. For example, multiplexes, we have seen how a lot of producers are now approaching the OTT platform and releasing their movies. So really, there is a big question on the long-term growth or the business format that would continue. Apart
Sure.
from that, some of the, if you look at the aviation sector or the hospitality space, there is hardly any strong fundamentals on the long term. So it's
Hmm.
basically airlines would benefit out of the low crude prices, but then currency also impacts them. Economic slowdown impacts them. A lot of business travel which used to happen have now moved to online virtual meetings. So that again will take a lot of time to come back. So the
Hmm.
best way to play the economic recovery would be through the core industrial sector, through the capex sector, where the bulk of the government stimulus funding or money would flow in, both in India and globally. We have seen
Sure.
how governments are spending. Even in US, the 7 8 year plan from the new government to push up the infrastructure spend. So that would be a better bet to play the economic recovery.
Like in the end, I wish to understand from you, like for new investors who are looking to enter the markets at the current stage, what should be their strategy? Is it the time to be aggressive? Should one have a staggered approach in the markets? And how does one really create a well generating portfolio? Time to look at adding more and more large caps. You should still stick to the Reliance Industries, HDFC Banks, Bajaj Twins of the world. Or is it time to diversify? The mid cap, small caps performed last year. Can they perform even now? The entire scenario, if you can help all our viewers understand.
In a economic recovery period, we generally see some of the smaller mid-sized companies doing really well in terms of growth, capturing market share, and business opportunities. So definitely, the expectation for the next 2 to 3 years would be that mid and small cap companies would outperform the larger cap space. However, it may not be a case of all-round outperformance. You have to be really very selective in terms of stock, sector, and a real bottom-up approach will help. For people who are trying to enter the market now, look for opportunities when the markets are down. Say last week, when the market was around 14,000 levels, that was so you buy on panic days, and that is how you buy on dips, kind of a strategy over the next 1 2 months, and create a diversified portfolio. Some of the larger cap companies, based on your risk profile, you can add even some of the smaller cap companies, small to
Hmm.
mid-sized companies. But largely, I would say one should have a diversified, a multi-cap approach for a long-term wealth creation.
Okay, understood that. Thank you very much, Mr. Kemka, for joining us and sharing with all our viewers your views on market outlook, the sectoral preferences that you have, and the strategy that investors must follow going on from here in the current market scenario to be able to generate a return-worthy portfolio for themselves in the long term. Thank you very much for being with us. And with that, we wrap up this edition of Market Masterclass. We will keep getting you all the voices of experts so that you can understand which way are the markets going to tread and how should you position your investments in the current market scenario as well. With that, many thanks for joining us.